Hello, this is Chiak, and we are back with Batman Arkham Knight to read the profiles. So it turns out I actually, in order to even complete the profiles, I had to, one, do the Pinkney, get the Pinkney plaques because there's audio files involved.
January the 14th, 1855. My God, it worked! Amadeus truly is a genius. Oh, you've come this far, dear reader. Allow me to explain. I learned Cobblepot intended to poison me, and so we endeavored to replace his tainted wine with one of our own creation, as expected. I choked, I sputtered, and then, I passed. But it was not poison I consumed, rather something made by Amadeus. His concoction enabled me to enter a soporific state so profound that even to the keenest of physicians, I appeared a corpse. Yet here I am, resurrected. And now I will have my revenge. Henry Cobblepot will pay for what he's done.
An interesting turn. In trying to solve one murder, you've discovered the origins of another.
Henry Cobblepot.
Yes. City records say it was an automobile accident that killed him, not long after Cyrus's supposed passing. But now we know the truth. He was murdered by the man he thought he killed.
What about Pinkney?
It appears that's a mystery that must endure a while longer.
But besides the Pinkney plaques, I found that I was still missing 28. I only had 28 of 29. I had to look it up, and it turns out it was in Bane's lair, and I just completely missed it.
Some of this research is dedicated to overcoming his own addiction and dependency on venom. He can't survive without it.
But nonetheless, we managed to get all of the audio files, so 100% with their profiles, and I don't think I've read any of them, so we are going to listen to some tapes, but also read them, obviously. First off, Batman. From GCPD files, suspect is believed to be responsible for multiple assaults against both criminals and law enforcement officials. Identity of suspect currently unknown, maybe a single individual or multiple individuals working together. Conflicting reports of suspect physiology range from dark specter to large winged creature. Lack of photographic and forensic evidence makes it difficult to confirm or refute these claims. First sighting reported nearly 2 years ago, though frequency has recently increased. Multiple reports of suspect employing custom-built armored vehicle and unlicensed low-flying aircraft. Warning, considered armed and extremely dangerous. Approach with extreme caution. Multiple outstanding warrants. Additional, immediately notify desk officer in Vigilante Task Force if suspect is cited or evidence obtained. From GCPD files, Thomas and Martha Wayne were gunned down in an alley outside the Monarch Theater when Bruce Wayne was just a boy. He was raised by the Wayne family butler, Alfred Pennyworth, but disappeared in his late teens for several years. Upon his return to Gotham 2 years ago, the sole surviving Wayne made an impression on the city with his philanthropy, as well as his aggressive reluctance to discuss exactly where he was or what he was doing during his time away. All reports indicate Wayne Industries and Wayne himself are inscrutable, but someone with this much power and influence should be watched closely. Alfred Pennyworth. Alfred claims to have been an accomplished actor before he signed on to be the Wayne family butler, but records hint at a history with military intelligence. Being an actor could have been a cover, or acting could just be a very useful skill for an intelligence officer to have. For Alfred's part, he's not offering up details, but his extensive medical knowledge suggests he's more than a common thespian. Alfred is still having trouble accepting the reality of Bruce Wayne's double life and continues to push Bruce to give up his crusade for more mundane pursuits. Okay, so this one isn't from the GCPD files. Captain Gordon. Gordon has been appointed the head of the Vigilante Task Force charged with bringing in the Batman, and he takes his job very seriously. Batman is no friend to the police and should tread with extreme caution when engaging officers, particularly since many of them maintain criminal associations, in the pay of Black Mask, Penguin, or worse. As yet, Gordon's record remains clean, but remains to be seen if he can be trusted.
What happened to you?
A minor scuffle. Goes with the territory.
So, who was it this time? The crooks or your coworkers? Oh, right. They're one and the same.
What are you doing at the station at this time of night? Do you know what this neighborhood is like?
Dad, I'm 15.
You should be at home.
Yeah, well, there are some creepy-looking characters watching the house. I thought you should know.
Oh. Well, I'll get a police escort to take you home and check them out.
Actually, Dad, these guys are the police.
So it's come to that. Bastards.
Dad?
Here, take this. It's a police radio. And here's a list of police channels. They don't know I know about the ones in red. They'll be using those to communicate.
I can't take this. If they find out, you'll lose your job.
They're already coming for me. We may as well keep one step ahead.
Okay, wow, damn, I don't recall listening to this in my last playthrough. Harsh. Barbara Gordon. High school student. Barbara is the daughter of GCPD Captain James Gordon. At barely 15, she has a remarkably mature understanding of the way the city works and the corruption that flows through it. She is one of the few who seems to understand Batman's goals and supports his efforts. The zealousness with which she tries to expose corruption could get her into trouble one day. She should be watched carefully for her own safety. Vicki Vale, investigative journalist. Vale's stories often attack corrupt officials head-on. That is when she can get the stories by her editor. While a noble sentiment, the people she targets don't take kindly to being thrust into the public eye. She could find herself in trouble if she doesn't find a more subtle way to do her job. Still, it's admirable to see a journalist unafraid to expose the truth in a city defined by corruption and lies. Gotham needs more people like her. Alberto Falcone, professional criminal. The Falcones are one of Gotham's most powerful crime families. Carmine Falcone has ruled his part of the city for years, but has started losing ground to newcomers Black Mask and Cobblepot. Still, the Falcone family remains active throughout Gotham, posing a threat to the safety and security of its citizens.
Yes?
Mr. Falcone, this is Dr. Strange's office calling.
Right, sorry. I missed my last appointment. I had to...
Actually, you missed your last 2 appointments.
Right. Look, I appreciate the doctor's concern, but I have it under control now. There's no need for any further treatment.
I'm afraid Dr. Strange doesn't feel the same way, Alberto. We would hate to take unnecessary chances when we've come so far.
Listen, I'm not one of Strange's test subjects to be poked and prodded. Have you forgotten who I am? Who my father is?
I believe your father would be most concerned that his son could be suffering from untreated psychological issues.
Is that a threat?
So, we'll expect you at the regular time next week?
Interesting. So she pronounced it Falcone?
Hello? Who is this?
A friend of the family.
Zionis. What do you want?
Just a social call. Reaching out to the community, you might say.
Go on.
Your father and I did not always see eye to eye, but we had much in common. Common interests, common traditions.
I can't really speak for my father or the family.
That's not how you made it sound at Cuccinota the other night.
How did you know I was...
Relax, Alberto. There's nothing like good food and wine to loosen a tongue, am I right? But next time you want to discuss your future, do it somewhere more private. And I own just the place.
Hello, Zionis.
Who the hell is this? What time is it?
Time to get your affairs in order, Roman. There is a change in the air, and the wolves descend on Gotham.
Listen, you little piece of crap. I don't know who you are or who you work for.
I answer to a higher power than you. I am a higher power than you. And one day soon, you will have much to answer for.
Nobody speaks to me.
Okay. I don't know. I want to say, or is it? I'm thinking maybe I'm thinking of like one of the Batman comic books. Was it the longest Halloween? The Halloween. I can't remember the title. But I think it had to do with Calendar Man or something like that. I'm blanking right now. Either way, Cyrus Pinkney, occupation architect. Visionary architect from Gotham's early industrial age. Cyrus Pinkney is an architect who lived during the mid-1800s and died on the eve of his 40th birthday. He is responsible for designing many iconic Gotham buildings and saw them constructed with the financial backing of Judge Solomon Wayne, who was inspired when he saw Pinkney's plans for the city. Both men believed in the power of these designs to drive out malevolence, but many considered Pinkney's style to be dark, dreary, and grotesque. Play file.
January the 13th, 1855. The moment of my death approaches, and there is naught I might do to stop it. I dared dream of greatness, but in the process, I forgot that such ambition oft demands a heavy price. Still, I pay it gladly. For knowing that Gotham has become a city whose magnificence will echo across the ages. But its origins must not be forgotten. And so, I have scattered my journal across the city, placing pages where I believe they shall endure. Find them, read them, then share what lies within. For though the truth may not be so beautiful as the legend, it is necessary all the same. April the 22nd, 1846. Our recent financial troubles have forced us into business with one Henry Cobblepot, a print magnate of questionable repute. The man cares little for me and my base station, as he put it. And so, the negotiations are left to Solomon. But I fear his idealism shall lead us down a treacherous road, for Cobblepot is a sneak, and surely his sweet words mask a nefarious intent. August the 11th, 1851. I fear I've angered Henry Cobblepot, but he sought to build over the last remaining vestige of the original Gotham, and I could not allow it. Solomon and I went before the mayor and bade him support us. Henry was opposed, insisting his work was necessary for Gotham's financial security. I think it's more to do with his own. Solomon Wayne's hotel put Cobblepots out of business. I do wonder if Mr. Wayne erred in opening that place. But what's done is done. February the 7th, 1852. I have met the most extraordinary young man by the name of Amadeus Arkham. Though still just a student, he exhibits an intelligence unmatched by even Gotham's most learned. He is possessed with a kind heart as well, and seeks to help those who all others have abandoned. Rehabilitation instead of incarceration. It is the most progressive notion, and one that few of his peers support, but I believe. And so, I shall provide him with plans for the greatest asylum the world has ever known. April the 3rd, 1853. I am sorry, Solomon, to have gone behind your back, to have bargained with the devil. But the accounts have run dry and our work is but half begun. I had no choice but to approach Henry Cobblepot. The others would contribute no more. He consented to my request, though I fear it will come at a great cost. For now, he says I owe him nothing. But how long until I do? December the 22nd, 1854. I fear I am not long for the world. Henry Cobblepot finally came to collect, and I refused. He wishes to open a munitions factory inside the city. This is not part of the plan, and it works against everything we've accomplished, to say nothing of the danger to Gotham's citizens. I went to the mayor and begged him to introduce a bill banning the endeavor. Thankfully, he agreed, but I'm sure to be punished for my betrayal. It's only a matter of how and when. January the 11th, 1855. I've accepted the invitation, knowing it means my death. Henry Cobblepot claims it's merely a party to celebrate my 40th birthday. He insists that he's forgiven my past transgressions, turned over a new leaf, as it were. But I know better. With me gone, he will use his wily charms to see the law changed and his factory built. Already there are rumors that his son, Theodore, intends to run for mayor. Victory is all but assured. I will hide this journal of mine in the hopes that someday it might be found. To go public now, before my work is done, would put it all at risk. It must wait. But I hope in time, my words are brought to light. January the 14th, 1855. My God, it worked! Amadeus truly is a genius. Oh, you've come this far, dear reader. Allow me to explain. I learned Cobblepot intended to poison me, and so we endeavored to replace his tainted wine with one of our own creation. As expected, I choked, I sputtered, and then, I passed. But it was not poison I consumed, rather something made by Amadeus. His concoction enabled me to enter a soporific state so profound that even to the keenest of physicians, I appeared a corpse. Yet here I am, resurrected. And now I will have my revenge. Henry Cobblepot will pay for what he's done.
Okay, so we got to hear this last one when we at the crypt. But now we have everything that led up to it. So, Bane. Occupation, fugitive. Supreme strength, master tactician. Bane is a fugitive wanted by the government of Santa Prisca following a prison break from Penadero. While no records have been found to substantiate this, rumors allege Bane was born and raised within the prison walls, a seemingly impossible feat in the all-male penitentiary. Bane is believed to be traveling with a large group of his fellow escapees. Most notable is his chief subordinate, Bird. Bane is rumored to have superhuman size and strength. Most believe in this to be a result of his abuse of performance-enhancing drugs, including the popular narcotic venom. Combined with a keen mind, this makes Bane an extreme threat.
It is said that which does not kill you makes you stronger. But that which makes you stronger can often kill you. Addiction is a weakness, one that must be overcome. Venom has become my addiction, my weakness. To free myself, I have tried many things. For a time, I sought to eradicate Venom and wipe those who manufacture it from the face of the earth. But lately, I've gravitated towards Project TN1, a replacement drug, which would eliminate Venom's addictive properties and holds the promise of a permanent effect. If it works, I would no longer have need of the delivery system. Another weakness. While early tests had to be terminated immediately, the latest subjects seem at least physically stable. But side effects are severe. Immediate and permanent long-term memory loss, followed by a general degradation of brain function that leaves the subject primitive. Testing continues. The latest formula shows promise. Once I've eliminated the bat, I will dedicate myself to finding a suitable volunteer for my tests. End of recording.
That was the substance Joker used in Arkham Asylum. Copperhead, contract killer from South America. Records indicate Copperhead is an alias used by hitmen working for Central and South American drug cartels, but this Copperhead is clearly female. This could indicate that the name Copperhead is actually a title or label for an underworld organization. Either way, Copperhead seems capable of escaping nearly all forms of confinement. Kill techniques range from strangulation and crushed bones to acute toxicity, resulting in death. Deadshot, Floyd Lawton, mercenary. Lawton was a lethal military sniper with a long list of assassinations, but according to his records, he often takes unnecessary risks or makes his plans unnecessarily complex. Perhaps this was why he was discharged from service and took up mercenary work. Though his military record is mostly redacted, his psychological profile suggests he harbors deep feelings of guilt regarding his accidental murder of his own brother. Okay. Deathstroke, Slade Wilson, mercenary. Wilson was an accomplished member of the Special Forces. This distinction earned him admittance into a covert program where he was subjected to extensive mental and physical augmentation. The procedures left him with an increased mental function as well as enhanced speed, strength, and stamina. Though much of the file is redacted, it appears that Slade was eventually discharged from the military, though the exact circumstances are not specified. He has since taken up work as a mercenary. His augmentations, coupled with his mastery of hand-to-hand combat, make him a formidable opponent, possibly one of the most dangerous Batman has ever, or will ever, face. The Electrocutioner, Lester Buchensky, pit fighter. More bronze than brains is the initial assessment of Buchensky, but he has been able to create some kind of custom-made weaponized gloves that pack a powerful electric discharge. Their craftsmanship suggests there is more going on between his ears than the sound of his own boasting, though he may have had help constructing them, perhaps even had them made by someone else. His arrogance and overconfidence are his weakness. Firefly, Garfield Linz, pyrotechnics expert. Linz has specialized knowledge of incendiary devices, yet often gets burned by the fires he's creating. What little is in his medical record suggests he does not seek treatment for the pain. It seems to invoke a pleasure response in him. This is a dangerous combination. His obsession with fire is driving him to take ever larger risks if he is not stopped. He is going to destroy himself and potentially much of the city with him. Killer Croc, Waylon Jones, career criminal. Medical records class Jones as suffering from a rare form of epidermolytic hyperkeratosis. It normally causes skin to scale, but there is more to Jones than that. It's true that his skin has grown dense enough to repel gunfire, but that doesn't explain the rest of the changes. His size, sense of smell, unexplained dental eruptions, and warped digits. The degree to which he has been affected is remarkable and suggests this may actually be a form of atavism that simply resembles hyperkeratosis. It may also be the result of intentional genetic manipulation. Further study is required. Regardless of their origin, his strength and ferocity make him an immense physical threat. Shiva. Name unknown. Assassin. Police records are thin, but indications are that Shiva is a highly trained and extremely dangerous assassin. Rumor is that she selects many of her targets simply to test her skills. There are no known survivors from these encounters. The threat she represents cannot be underestimated.
Answer my question. Why are you here?
Same as you, of course. Money, glory.
Don't play games with me.
But you can play the cunning brute? I know of your reliance on venom, and your desire to eliminate it.
How do you...
When you've lived as long as the Master has, you can gather a great deal of knowledge.
You're working for him. What is he planning?
You know better than to question his motives. I'm simply saying that my master shares your hatred of criminals.
Listen, I'm not sure who you are or what you want, but I don't appreciate you meddling in my business.
We are hardly meddling. My master is simply offering you assistance. An opportunity you yourself say you desire.
What makes him so sure he can do it?
Well, it certainly won't happen overnight. There are steps we must take.
Strings. I knew it.
You say you want to be mayor, that you want to purge the city of criminals. Then taking this position is hardly a string.
So what did you say this facility was called?
Arkham Asylum.
Okay. So they placed them there. Okay, I think I already read this, but I'm going to read it again for this video. Black Mask, Roman Sionis, Crime Lord. Roman Sionis is one of Gotham's most powerful crime lords, though thus far he has managed to avoid conviction. He maintains several legitimate businesses, though many are believed to be front for illegal operations. Notable businesses in his portfolio include Janus Cosmetics, Gotham Merchants Bank, and the now-defunct Sionis Steelworks. Sionis has been charged with embezzling city funds, murder, racketeering, distribution of illegal narcotics, and other offenses, but never convicted. Witnesses for the prosecution have been known to recant, die, or disappear. He owns half the police officers in Gotham, along with several judges and city councilors. Those he can't buy, he intimidates with torture or eliminates. The Penguin, Oswald C. Cobblepot, Black Market Racketeer. The Penguin operates a black market on his modified luxury liner, The Final Offer. Cobblepot is tapped into Gotham's underworld like no other. If there's a deal going on somewhere in the city, Cobblepot knows about it, and is probably involved in some way. He is careful about maintaining a low profile when it comes to his gang's dealings, which makes it difficult to pin this criminal activity directly on him. While he doesn't offer much in the way of a physical threat, he does carry concealed weapons and keeps a large number of his thugs around to protect him.
Hiya, boss.
Candy, what a treat. Where you been, love?
Gone fishing, remember?
Ah, yes. You catch anything interesting?
Just a nibble. That Roman's a slippery one. But he does have a new hobby.
Oh?
Collecting masks. Ain't that a hoot?
Now, what would Roman want with that lot, I wonder? I think it's time to break out some of our new hardware.
We need to keep an eye on our friend Black Mask.
Yeah, that you?
Yeah, it's me. What is it?
I got, information. Your boss. We got him at the scene of the crime.
What scene?
Lacey Towers.
He didn't do it.
Oh, no?
Should I repeat myself?
We got him at the scene. Understand? Direct evidence of murder. Cobblepot ain't gonna be able to slip this one. Branden says we're gonna have to bring him in.
I told you, he didn't do it.
That don't matter. All that matters is the evidence. Now, if that evidence should happen to disappear...
Ah, I see.
Well, it is Christmas. And with Loeb gone, I gotta look out for my future.
All right. It'll be in the usual place. Just don't wait too long. Wouldn't want your cash to get soggy in all this snow. And make sure Branden gets his cut. I don't want that son of a bitch coming back at me.
Hey, always glad to help.
So what do you got? A bunch of heavy hitters. A couple I've identified as potential customers.
These really their names?
Aliases.
Deathstroke. What's that guy into?
Guns, flashbangs. Deadshot, too. Sniper by trade. He's good for ammo.
Whoa, whoa, who is this chick? Copperhead. She's wearing nothing but ink.
Yeah, I don't know about her. Firefly neither. Not for weapons, at least. Maybe for, other materials. But this Bane guy, if you got the stomach for it, he's got a whole gang with him. That's your big sale right there. Assuming he don't just rip your arms out for fun.
All right, so how does this work with Loeb out of the picture?
Can't use the normal channels. This Gordon's a regular Boy Scout.
Oh, yeah? Maybe we can help you with that.
Okay, that's it for Anarchy's got tapes too. Okay, Anarky, name unknown, political activist. Self-titled, the voice of the people. Anarky wants to purge Gotham of corruption, but his methods involve wanton destruction. His idealism is matched with a self-importance that makes reasoning with him nearly impossible. He needs to be dealt with physically and imprisoned to keep the city safe. Should be approached with caution.
This is Gordon. I know who you are.
Who is this?
I've seen your record. Impressive. In a city full of dirt, you're the only one with a clean jacket.
I need a trace started.
But despite a clean record, you're still just an instrument of oppression at the beck and call of your corporate masters.
I work for the city of Gotham, not some corporation.
Are you really so naive? The government is owned by corporate America. The city is owned by Bruce Wayne, and the mayor wouldn't wipe his ass without permission from people like Rupert Thorne. You're a cog in the machine, Gordon, and that machine is voracious. That machine must be stopped.
So you're doing me a favor of some kind?
That's right. I'm here to help the misguided. Despite your chosen profession, your record suggests you could be reformed. So a warning. Get out, Gordon. Get out while you can.
Hello? Hello? Did we get the trace? Encrypted? Son of a...
You want to eat, don't you?
Yeah, but...
Listen, I got you on possession, B&E, trespassing. Hell, I got you on loitering. So, what's it gonna be?
All right. What do I gotta do?
Simple. You get them riled up, you know? You blend in, you make suggestions. Hey, there's a fat cat, let's roll his car. Hey, let's burn that building down. Those corporate bastards put us out in the street. And if you have to, you kick in the first window. You throw the first Molotov.
But that's what they're gonna do anyway.
Yeah, so they say. But talk is cheap. No one wants to be the first one to do it. That's where you come in.
Ain't burning down a building gonna get me in more trouble than I'm already in?
Well, yeah. But that's what you got me for. I'm on your side, friend. You get them started, and then you get the hell out of there before us boys in blue start cracking heads. I'll make sure the heat doesn't come down on you. So long as you don't get yourself caught.
I don't know about this.
Look, this prick, Anarky or whatever, he ain't got your best interests in mind, right? He's got his own agenda, and he's just using you like he's using everybody else. You bring him out in the open, we bring him down, and everybody has a Merry Christmas. So, we got a deal?
Yeah, deal.
Yeah, you made the right choice. Now, will that be light or dark me?
Okay. I was trying to discern what the cops' motives for hiring the homeless man But he said it out in the end. Ah, the guy didn't know. Bird. Angel Bird Velunga? Bane's lieutenant. Like Bane, Bird has no criminal record prior to his incarceration. The records of Peneduro are sketchy at best. They contain no mention of a Bird alias. His admission and incarceration paperwork appear to have been lost, unless, of course, there is truth to the rumors, and he was born and raised inside the prison like Bane. Since his escape, Bird has been responsible for all kinds of heinous crimes committed at the behest of his master. This is a man who will obey any order without question and lay down his life without a second thought. In short, a fanatic, and very dangerous because of it. The Mad Hatter, Jervis Tetch, clothing retailer. That was really his occupation beforehand. Oh, a former neurologist. There we go. I'm like, I don't understand how he's got his abilities being a clothing retailer. That makes sense. While not a physical threat, Tetch's research into brain chemistry and hypnotism makes him a menace to the unsuspecting. Tetch's name is listed in connection with several cold cases. It appears on many watch lists. Law enforcement seems to be waiting for him to take the next step. He has an unhealthy fixation with Alice's adventures in Wonderland and believes himself to be a character from the book. Calendar Man, Julian Gregory Day, fugitive. Julian Day, aka Gotham's calendar killer, aka Calendar Man, was brought to justice thanks to Batman's diligence in apprehending the killer. Many were surprised by Judge Harkness's decision to give Day the death penalty despite the state labeling him criminally insane. Julian Day was set free just minutes before his scheduled execution on Christmas Eve during the break-in at Blackgate Prison that saw Police Commissioner Loeb murdered. While it is unlikely Calendar Man was involved with the assassinations or the bounty, he remains a threat to the city, particularly given his obsession with dates and holidays. Ricky Loose Lips LeBlanc, Richard LeBlanc, arms dealer. LeBlanc was a small-time gunrunner who fell in with Penguin's crew and now works exclusively for Cobblepot. LeBlanc conducts arms deals with various buyers and sellers all over the city. He fancies himself a comedian and ladies' man, but he's nothing more than a common criminal who should be behind the bars. Enigma, name for now unknown, professional criminal. Enigma seems able to defeat almost all forms of network security. Batman's own network is under threat of attack, and steps must be taken to ensure no future incursions. If he was able to access the Bat-computer, there's no telling how much damage he could do. Fortunately, his insecurities cause him to act out. The more he draws attention to himself, the easier he becomes to track down and take out. Commissioner Loeb, Gillian B. Loeb, GCPD Commissioner, or at least former GCPD Commissioner. As much politician as policeman, Gillian Loeb is a blight on Gotham. He runs the city like a criminal kingpin, and the police under his command are used as his personal enforcers. He's particularly close with Lieutenant Branden and his shoot-first SWAT teams. Under Loeb's watch, the city has experienced relative peace between the various crime families. This peace that has allowed them to exploit and extort the citizens who live and work on their turf. As long as Loeb remains in power, so too will the kingpins.
Gordon, he's so clean. I sometimes think he does it just to lord his integrity over the rest of us.
Easy, Gillian.
I'm telling you, Roman, it's time we took Gordon off the payroll. Permanently.
That's enough, Gil. A cop like Gordon is good PR for the PD. We get him under control, and he could be even more useful to us.
Control? It will be easier to send my men to beat some sense into him.
Like Detective Flass? That approach has already failed. Find a way to put a collar on the man, and it'll be that much easier to tighten the leash.
And how do I do that?
Not my problem, Gillian. That's what I pay you for. Gordon is a man of principles. Work on those.
What do you want me to do, become his confidant? Gordon trusts me about as far as he can throw me.
So, not very far at all.
Yeah, I get it. I'm a big guy.
You're a fat slob who needs to start earning his keep. Now, men like Gordon have a weakness for a certain type of woman. They call it the Lancelot syndrome or some such crap.
What are we talking about here? You want me to set up a honeypot?
I'll leave the details to you. Find me some dirt, and try not to make a mess of it. What do you want me to do? Hold your hand?
This bad guy's got some of my men really spooked. Some of them are even calling in sick.
Then fire their asses. I don't have time for fence-sitters. Soon I'll have all of City Hall in my pocket, and I'm not about to lose it over some cold feet.
So what should I do about it?
Cement shoes? You figure it out.
Commissioner Loeb,
Yes?
Warden Joseph on the line.
Okay, and that's it for that. Warden Joseph. Warden Joseph, Blackgate's prison warden. Though Joseph has a degree in criminology and spent a short time in police administration, he has never worked a beat or done time as a prison guard. He was hired because of his administrative abilities and tasked with finding ways to increase prison profitability. While he has experienced some degree of success, it has come at a cost. The number of inmates has ballooned while maintenance expenditures have been cut, causing the facility to fall into disrepair and disrepute. There are more and more guards on the payroll of Black Mask and Penguin, and the prison has become a haven for criminals and criminal activity. It should be noted that Joseph himself does not appear to have any criminal ties. He is simply trying to do the job he was hired to do.
You wanted to see me, Warden?
Yes, I need you to reevaluate Julian Day.
Oh, didn't you see? I turned in my evaluation last week.
I saw it, and I need you to do it again.
I'm not sure that...
You have to understand, Day is a manipulator, a very experienced one, and you, well, you're still in your residency.
I don't see anyone doubting that Mr. Day is insane and should be tried as such. I'm actually considering writing a paper about him.
Miss Quinzel, I'm giving you a chance here. Do you know what happens if the prosecution can try Day as a sane man?
He'll get the death penalty.
And the city will thank you for helping to remove a cold-blooded killer from its streets.
So, we're not here to help rehabilitate the sick?
This is a prison, Miss Quinzel, not a mental health clinic. If you want to see a successful end to your residency, I suggest you keep that in mind and reevaluate Julian Day.
I see. Perhaps I was a bit hasty with my evaluation.
Excellent. I'm glad we could...
In fact, I think it would be excellent experience if I was the first to give all new inmates psychological evaluations.
You're not a doctor yet. That's not your...
Like you said, I need more experience with these manipulators. Perhaps more exposure to these types of criminals will help me learn to tell the difference between the fakers and the truly insane.
Why would you want to spend any more time with these freaks than you have to?
The criminal mind is a fascinating subject for a research paper or a book.
It's no skin off my back. Knock yourself out.
A killer is a killer is a killer. You think it matters to the victim or their families if he claims that he's insane? No. I'm not making special exceptions for all of these freaks that seem to be popping up. This one was trying to play the system, just like the rest of them. Feigned insanity is no defense in my courtroom.
You don't think it's a little blatant? I mean, with his obsession for the holidays.
In this city, they'll love it. Poetic justice, I say.
All right. Well, Christmas Eve it is then.
Excellent. I'm throwing a little Christmas party that night. We're going to watch the execution from my home. You should come by. Bring your wife. Pick up your gift.
I'll do that. And make sure you have something for my wife, too. She likes diamonds.
And they told me you were soft.
Wow, that's a wonderful Christmas viewing on the holidays. All right then. Branden, Howard Branden, GCPD SWAT Lieutenant. Branden represents everything that's wrong with the GCPD. He's on the take from nearly every major criminal syndicate in town and preys on the weak by extorting money through intimidation. He was Loeb's protege. But with Loeb gone, Branden will be looking to secure his promotion through other means. He is not in the running for commissioner, but he will be certain to make sure the next one maintains the arrangements Loeb established.
Run that past me again?
It's very simple, Branden. Sometime in the coming days, you may receive a call from a third party requiring your services.
Like a private contractor?
Precisely.
Okay, why?
Let's call it an investment against future favors.
And how am I supposed to know the guy?
He will identify himself with the code word facade.
What is that? French?
It doesn't matter. What's important is that you remember it.
All right, facade. Got it.
Okay.
So what's all this gear for, Branden? I mean, I should know why I'm putting my job on the line.
You sure those cameras are off?
Relax. Everything's shut down for routine maintenance. So?
All right, but keep it under your hat. Lowe's planning on setting up a special unit, with me as leader, of course.
So, why steal the gear?
We're not stealing, we're borrowing. That way we don't need to deal with a lot of red tape when we gotta mobilize.
I get it. Off the books kind of thing. Need any guns?
Nah, we got that covered. Believe me. Hey, if you want to see some action, I can put in a good word.
You kidding? I busted my ass to get this desk job. I'll leave the cowboy stuff to you. You're good at that.
Suit yourself. But remember, if you're not with us, keep your damn mouth shut.
Okay. Harvey Bullock, police detective. Quick to judge, doesn't hesitate to use his strength to brutalize suspects, loves his job. Having power over people makes him feel good about himself. Seems conflicted where Gordon is concerned. Bullock is typical of most of the GCPD officers. He's on the take and uses his position of authority to his advantage. However, careful examination of his record and recent activity suggests he does follow the law when dealing with civilians. Perhaps there's hope yet for Harvey. With the right motivation and direction, he could turn out to be a good cop. But for now, he should be considered just as dirty as any other GCPD officer. Candy. Name unknown, Penguin's assistant. Using Penguin for income? Potential for rehabilitation? Candy was raised on the streets, but managed to pull herself up and earn a business degree. Unfortunately, lean times in a contracting job market caused her to fall in with Penguin's crowd. The recession has driven many well-educated people to take desperate action to support themselves, but that's no excuse for criminal behavior. Her crimes are minor, however, making her an excellent candidate for rehabilitation. Harleen, is this your notes? Tracey. Tracey Buxton. Penguin's assistant. Streetwise and tough, mid-level leadership position. Tracey's earned her status in Penguin's operation owing to a tough-as-nails, no-nonsense attitude. Penguin uses her to keep his crew in line when he's not around. It's not clear why she would have fallen in with Cobblepot. It's likely that the two met while he was living abroad. Perhaps he's grooming her to take over his operation someday. While she represents only a minimal physical threat, she is as dangerous as anyone else who picks up a gun and is willing to use it. Harleen Quinzel. Harleen F. Quinzel, psychiatrist intern. Quinzel is finishing up her psychology residency at Blackgate Prison. It seems odd that a student would try to work at a facility that has little desire to rehabilitate its inmates, but perhaps her interest in the criminal mind will bear fruit. The last one. The Joker. Name unknown. Occupation unknown. Psychopath, highly intelligent, unpredictable. I'm assuming this is Batman's writing. I prepared for muggers, killers, thieves, criminals, increasingly extreme in their methods and personalities. But I never imagined someone like the Joker. There is no information on him in any criminal database. As far as records go, it's as if he stepped out of thin air. He appears to be a highly resourceful psychopath with a sadistic intelligence. who delights in causing chaos, destruction, and human suffering. Skilled with explosives and firearms, he displays personality traits consistent with criminal insanity, though his mental instability did not hinder his ability to infiltrate and take over Black Mask's criminal organization. His capacity for wanton destruction makes him a threat to the entire city. He must be stopped.
You know I murdered your commissioner tonight, right? So what makes you think I give two farts what some dumbass dirty cop's gotta say?
I got it from reliable sources. Penguin is making a move on Falcone territory. The Falcones got no idea what's coming.
And this concerns me because...
You don't care if Penguin takes over their racket?
Why should I?
I don't know. I mean, there's a balance right now, and you're at the top. But one of these other types starts making too much money, you know, and that balance will...
You know what I know? What I know is that I don't like balance. Balance is boring, and boring is a four-letter word in my book. No, balance. Balance is what's wrong with this city. We need to upset the balance, kick it over, light it on fire, and then see what comes scurrying out.
Boss?
Huh? Oh, right, that's me.
Are you feeling okay?
Never better. I've got a new lease on life. Granted, it came with some added mileage, but beggars can't be choosers.
Yeah, well, anyway, you know, it's the first Thursday of the month, right?
So it is. Good job. Observation and initiative are the keys to advancement. I have my eye on you.
It's just that normally you have me drop off the commissioner's commission every month.
Well, of course I knew that. But I'm rethinking our arrangement with my good friend, the commissioner.
Okay. You're the boss?
That's right. I am.
Okay. Well, that is it with the profiles. The Gotham Intel, I have my readings from my previous playthrough of this game. So that will be done then. And that's really it. So after this, we are going to be playing...
I need any unassigned unit for special assignment.
Okay, hold on. After this, we are going to be I'm going to be playing the Cold Heart DLC. Either way, I'm going to end the set here as I go off and fight some fight these Park Row criminals because I'm trying to get that ranking thing. So either way, thank you for liking if you like, thank you for commenting if you commented, thank you for subscribing if you subscribed, thank you for, thank you for simply clicking on this video. Until next time guys, see ya!